Chess fans, we're looking at the game played between Vishy Anand with white and Hikaru Nakamura with black. In St. Louis, it was a rapid game. Vishy played e4, and after e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop e5, the Spanish game, knight f6, d3, bishop c4, castle, knight d4, knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, c3, bishop b6. Training question number 1. What is the main move in this position? There are two main moves. One is knight to d2, simply developing the knight, and there are plans in this position to reroute the knight to the king side to g3. But the main move in this position is knight a3. And the reason is that the bishop has dropped back to b6, and the knight is ready to attack that bishop by jumping to c4. At the same time, black cannot control this square on c4 because d5 is not possible because the bishop is pinning the pawn against the king. So the game continues with c6, and after bishop a4, it also becomes clear why the bishop on b6 is not ideally placed and white is taking advantage of that. Black does not have the move b5 to drop back the bishop and hassle the knight and take away the square on c4 for the knight because the bishop is blocking the pawn on b7. That's why knight a3 is a strong move. Game continued d6, and now knight c4, bishop c7. Black does not want to exchange that bishop. Bishop e3, h6, and the knight actually can be rerouted to the center of the board where it is very active, controlling the important squares in the center. The game continued d5, and after e takes, c takes, training question number 2. What is white's thematic move to play against black's strong center pawn structure? The thematic move is to immediately challenge the center with d4, and after the pawn continues forward to e4, f3. This is the way to play against such a strong center. Quick and with pawn pushes to challenge the pawns. The game continued queen d6 with the threat of queen takes h2. So Vishy played g3, and after castles, f takes, d takes, black's strong center is neutralized. Training question number 3. How should white continue his development? The strong move in this position is the move knight to f5, opening up the bishop and at the same time attacking the queen. Training question number 4. The queen is attacked. How should black react? Let's have a look at this position and see what happens if the queen moves away, for example to d7. There's actually another theme connected to knight to f5, which is the tactical blow knight takes h6. And the problem is that after g takes h, the rook takes the knight, and white has won a pawn. So that's why in this position, Nakamura played bishop takes f5. And after rook takes f5, white now enjoys the bishop pair. The game continued rook a to e8. Black tries to capitalize on his passed pawn. And now training question number 5. What is white's thematical move in a position like this? Bishop e3. White attempts to blockade the passed pawn and at the same time develop his pieces. So the rook is free to come into the game at some point. The game continued h5. And now training question number 6. h5 was a mistake. How can white now win the game? Okay, that's a difficult training question. The move to win the game is bishop to f4. And if you haven't guessed this move, let's have a look on how to win the game and how to continue the game. The queen is attacked, and after queen d7, attacking the rook and moving the queen out of the attack, what is the thematical tactical blow that you see very often in this type of position? Rook takes f6. Have a look at this position. White is sacrificing an exchange, but at the same time white is also eliminating the important defender knight on f6. All of black's pieces are not really participating in the defense. It's really only the knight on f6, and after this knight is eliminated, it comes with the additional benefit of ruining black's pawn structure. And have a look, all of white's pieces are very quick to enter the attack. So with this motive in mind, it's maybe also a little bit easier to see bishop f4 in this position. So the game continued queen d7, rook takes, g takes, and now after bishop takes c7, queen takes c7, queen takes h5. After e3, black is pushing his passed pawn. Training question number 8. How to continue the attack in this position? Queen to g6, check. White is taking advantage of the fact that this bishop is immobilizing the pawn because it is pinned against the king. And after the only move in this position, king to h8, queen takes f6, white has won another pawn, check. And after king g8, queen g6 check, king h8, queen h6 check, queen g8, bishop to c2, threatening mate with queen to h7 mate. So black has to play f5, blockading this diagonal and at the same time bringing the queen into the attack. White continued, however, bishop to b3, and now the only move that black has is to put the rook in between the attack. The king is wide open, the queen is controlling all the important squares around the king. And now in this position here, training question number 9, should white now take the rook? So taking the rook with bishop f7 check is not a bad move, because after queen takes f7, white has 6 pawns and black has 4 pawns, and material is equal otherwise. At the same time, black's king is still open, and it's questionable if the passed pawn on e3 is really strong. For example, after rook e8, white is much better. However, in this position, it's actually even stronger not to take the rook back immediately. And Vichy knows that and continued with rook e1. White has all the time to take the rook later. The game continued continued queen to e7, fortifying the passed pawn on e3, which is black's main asset in this position. And after queen g6, king f8, training question number 9, the last training question in this video, how can white now simplify into a 1 endgame? You might have guessed this one very quickly. Queen takes f7 check. The only move is to exchange the queens, and after this exchange, king g2 will bring in the king, and black cannot defend the pawns, and white will win the game. And black resigned in this position. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned a lot to improve your game with our 9 training questions, and I'm looking forward to seeing you back here again in the future.